Well, hello there, wizards. It's me, Wade the Wizard, and welcome. Today, we're talking about Jubilee and the bigot by the name of Michael Knowles. I told myself I wasn't going to watch another Jubilee video and watch them platform these extremely terrible people, but I don't know. I couldn't help. So I watched this Surrounded with Michael Knowles, and I didn't even really. I don't want to make this video, but I didn't see there weren't any responses. Um, and the comments were like all for him, but I just kind of wanted to go through some of his arguments, and kind of break them apart a little bit and talk about them. Yeah, gosh, what else? As an introduction, let's jump in. I made a few notes here. So his first argument was there's no such thing as gay marriage, which it was just like such a weird, his inability to understand how society forms definitions of terms and of words. I was thinking like, yeah, Pluto used to be a planet. Okay, but we changed the definition. We progressed as a society, and whatever marriage used to mean, maybe it was a contract of different whatever, but love or marriage now, it's about two people who love each other. That's it. His main thing was that children need to be raised by a mom and a dad, but it just I didn't see a good argument against a man and a woman who are infertile. Like, is their marriage still legitimate? Does that count? But yeah, like what about two men who don't want to have kids or yeah, like that marriage doesn't count. What else to say about this? Just yeah, it was so weird. Like just misunderstanding the definition of words and how society changes, and you should just grow up. I thought your argument, Michael Knowles' argument, should have been that same-sex marriages should not raise children, which at that point we could start to have a conversation. We could engage with that, but just saying that like there's no such thing as gay marriage. What kind of argument is that? That's just so stupid. When I found with basically all of his arguments, like they were just weird, that it should have been something else. And so anyway, his second argument, transgenderism should be eradicated from public life entirely. This is what he's saying. Just go watch the video. I can't believe that there are people out there who have these kind of ideas. But transgenderism, first of all, it's not an ism. It's not an ideology with some kind of hidden agenda or anything within the transgender community. I mean, if anything, LGBTQ plus, the only agenda is equality and being allowed to be who you are and live your life and not let it bother other people. Like, anyway, one of the things that Michael Knowles brought up, why he thinks this radical idea of eradicating these ideas from public life, is because he was trying to argue that trans women will rape other women in bathrooms. And this was just such a misguided, it was kind of it was like between a false equivalence fallacy or a correlation fallacy. It's basically like saying So I saw a white man shoot up a school. Therefore, all white men are mass murderers, mass shooters. Like a person who is a rapist and a person who is transgender. These are two completely different things, man. Let's see. Yeah, I was just thinking. So, if Michael Knowles had his way, as far as like bathrooms go, we enforce the laws. What would you enforce? You would have, or what bathroom would you have a trans woman use? A woman, a trans woman who has completely transitioned and from the outside looks completely like a woman. You're going to have them go into the men's room? Can you just imagine the abuse and bullying and yeah, just that's not a good situation. Oh my goodness, where's my screen? Here we are. Okay. You still live? Nice. How's it going? A little out of focus. Yeah, so let's say we make a law that says you have to use the bathroom with your sex assigned at birth or something. How are you going to enforce that? You're going to check identification at the door? What if someone lost their wallet? They're going to just let them piss their pants? What the hell, man? It's such a stupid argument. Another thing, so Michael Knowles opposes those who identify as trans because it contradicts reality. I thought this was funny. It was because he just can't grasp the concept of someone being born in a body that, or with a sex that's different than how they feel. And then he immediately after, or in this argument, he talks about having a soul that God gave him. Talk about contradicting reality with your imaginary God in the clouds that there's no evidence for, and your soul. Are you kidding me? Souls. Okay. And you know what? Furthermore, I think religion is harmful to society, but I'm not going to advocate for the eradication of it. Okay. If you want to go into the privacy of your own room and kneel on the floor and, oh God, I love you so much, then that's your prerogative. I don't care. But if two men go into the privacy of their bedroom and one of them kneels on the floor and says, oh God, I love you so much, like, you're going to have a problem with that? What do you care? What the fuck do you care? So this whole argument, transgenderism should be eradicated from public life entirely. It's just your argument should have been, Michael, trans women shouldn't be allowed to compete in sports. There's actually something that we can discuss. Like, oh, maybe what does that look like if we try and enforce these policies? Blah, blah, blah. But like bathrooms, what a stupid thing. And like, there's no ideology. Let's move on. So his third argument was that LGBTQ plus identity is a social contagion. And you know what? I think it kind of is. Like, so what? But to say that something is a social contagion doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. Like, I was thinking of when Harry Potter was becoming popular. I was actually one of the kids who I was like, I'm not going to read that. I'm that cool rebellious kid. I'm not going to read it just because it's popular. But people feel more comfortable when it's more socially acceptable and there's not that oppressive the opposition from conservatives such as yourself, bigots like Michael Knowles. So LGBTQ LGBTQ identity is a social contagion. Really stupid argument. Your argument should have been LGBTQ identity is harmful for society. And then we could actually have some kind of conversation. But just to say that it's a social contagion, so what? All right. I guess I wanted to give a shout out to Lex. She had a good rebuttal when she called him out for essentially having the same ideologies as Hitler. And he comes back with, well, Hitler drank water. Maybe you're Hitler. Come on, man. Really? What a silly fallacy to say. I mean, she snapped back. She's like, we're talking about ideologies, not water consumption. Come on. So let's wrap this up with his last argument. And that was pride parades should be banned. And his whole argument really sums up by 2 points, and that is his opposition to public indecency and really his misunderstanding of the concept of pride. So first of all, like public indecency, yeah, I think we can all agree on that. Maybe we should make some laws against that. Oh, wait, there already is. Okay. So let's talk about pride. And I honestly, I don't know what a better term for it would be, but LGBTQ pride isn't saying, I think I'm better than you because of my sexual orientation. It's saying, I'm not ashamed of who I am, despite all the oppression and the backlash and opposition from bigots like Michael Knowles. I love myself, and that's what the pride is. That's what they're celebrating, of not being ashamed of who you are. And I'm kind of surprised no one even brought up this talking point, but pride started as a protest, as after the whole like Stonewall riots, and they were celebrating the anniversary of that, and that's really where it escalated from. So it's a protest in celebrating being allowed to be who we are and not being ashamed of who you are, despite all of the centuries of oppression and bigotry and hate. All right. There's nothing wrong with being lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer. And I was just thinking, like, I think church services, there's harm in church services. But guess what? I'm not forced to go. You're not forced to go to these pride parades. You act as if you're like just waltzing down Main Street, and then all of a sudden there's a couple of gay men having gay sex right in front of your face, which that's not what's happening. You have to make an effort to actually get on the front line of the parade. There's police barricades, there's crowds. You have to crane your neck. I don't know that he's ever even been to a pride parade, but again, Michael Knowles, your argument should have been public indecency should be banned, which it is. Okay, which is it's just a stupid argument. Like, you want to say that protests should be banned? That's just, well, I mean, that kind of fits in with your narrative of being a bigoted fascist who wants to just burn books. And anyway, I think that's about all for that. What else can I say except fuck Michael Knowles, fuck Charlie Kirk, fuck Ben Shapiro, fuck Matt Walsh, fuck bigotry, fuck hate. I guess that's about all. I just wanted to make a quick video in response to Jubilee's silly video. And to all my LGBTQ family and friends, I love you. I support you. Yeah. What more can I say? Love. Wade the Wizard. Out.